Hello everyone. In this session, let me introduce you to the analysis of RL series circuit. So we consider a circuit which has resistance and inductor connected in series, and this is excited by a sinusoidal voltage source V of t, which is equal to Vm sine omega t. Before we get into the analysis of an RL series circuit, let us analyze, or let us once again go back to the concept of the resistive and an inductive circuit. So let VR be the voltage drop across the resistor, and for a resistive circuit, VR or I is written as VR divided by R, which on cross multiplying we have VR to be equal to I into R. And we know voltage and current both are in phase with each other in case of a resistive network. Whereas in case of an inductive network, if you have voltage as reference, current lags voltage by an angle 90 degree, or we could say voltage leads current by an angle 90 degree. So to show that, let me just take this phasor diagram and rotate it to an angle 90 degree. So here now, because of rotating, current is acting as a phasor reference, and we have voltage that leads current by an angle 90 degree. And now let us put this in form of an equation. And here we represents the voltage drop across the inductor. So it is VL, and given a value of current I, VL divided by omega L gives us the value of current, and this defines only the magnitude of current, right? And if you want the value of VL, VL is equal to omega L into I, where this is representing only the magnitude of voltage and the magnitude of current. And taking into account the phasor relationship, normally we consider this as our real axis and this as our imaginary axis. And hence VL could be now written as VL is equal to, we have VL along the imaginary axis, and hence it is written as J omega L into I. Now let us go back to this circuit and apply KVL. Applying KVL to the circuit, we'll have V of t to be equal to VR plus VL. And here I represent voltage in form of phasor, and hence I write V, where V represents the phasor voltage. And now let us substitute the values of VR and VL. Let me name them as equations 1 and 2. Now on substitution, we'll have V to be equal to the phasor voltage to be equal to I into R plus J times omega L into I. And we have I in common for both the terms. So let me take that in common. And we know what omega L is. It is already familiar to us. Omega into L is inductive reactance, whose unit is again ohms. And now I write R plus J X L, where XL represents the inductive reactance. And on cross multiplication, we'll have V by I is equal to R plus J XL, where V by I is now here termed in case of AC network as the impedance. Impedance Z is equal to R plus J XL. And now with this, let us draw a triangle. So R is along the real axis and XL is an imaginary number, and hence I am drawing that in quadrature with R. Quadrature in the sense making a 90 degree. And now this hypotenuse represents the magnitude, where the magnitude of impedance is given by root of R square plus XL square. In place of XL, we could also substitute omega L. And this gives the expression for impedance. And now, if you want to know the angle between the impedance and the resistance, so that is given by tan phi is given as opposite divided by adjacent. So opposite is XL divided by adjacent. And from here, we could calculate the value of phi, which is known as the phase angle, or as you find this angle between R and Z, we call this as the impedance triangle. And hence this angle is known as the impedance angle. So the other name for phase angle is impedance angle. And impedance angle could be calculated from the impedance triangle using this formula, which is tan inverse of XL divided by R. Using this formula, we could calculate the impedance angle or the phase angle. And from this expression, phase angle is the angular difference between the voltage and current. So if voltage V of t is represented as Vm sine omega t, then I of t is written as I of t will have a maximum amplitude sine of omega t minus phi, because the current always lags behind voltage in an inductive circuit, and the phase angle is calculated to be tan inverse of XL divided by R, and this XL divided by R, after taking tan inverse, it will be always less than 90 degree. And the range of phi is going to be from 0 to 90 degree, a maximum of 90 degree. And let us now trace the waveform of the voltage and current. Voltage is pure sinusoidal waveform, whereas current is lagging voltage by an angle phi. So current is lagging behind. So only after voltage waveform starts, after an angle phi, current waveform is starting. And to know or to trace the waveform of power, let us mark every zero crossing instant. So here we have a zero crossing, here we have a zero crossing. So mark all zero crossing instants and then plot the graph. So we'll have the plot of the power waveform. And it could be seen from this expression that VR is equal to I into R and VL is equal to J omega L into I. That is, if we have current as the reference. So now you might get a question, why should I have current as my reference? So we have two elements here. In these two elements, we have a common current flowing. So the common parameter for the circuit is current, and hence I select current to be the reference phasor. Having current as the reference phasor, so having the current to be the reference phasor, let's trace the resistive voltage drop. So I into R gives us the value of voltage drop across the resistor, and J into omega L into I. So J, so it comes along the imaginary axis. So this is the voltage drop across an inductor, and VR plus VL. So the phasor sum of VR and VL is the supply voltage, which is V. And as I said earlier, we have the current waveform as our reference phasor. And the angle between the voltage phasor and current phasor is the phase angle. Now let me take you to the expression or the power triangle first. Along the resistive component, we have a power being dissipated and we call that as an active power. And along the inductor, we have another power, and that power is labeled as the reactive power or the quadrature power, because this power makes an angle 90 degree with the real power. And the total apparent power, so you call it as S, which is V into I. So I have proportionately multiplied this triangle. As you could see here, I have proportionately multiplied this triangle with a value I, and I have drawn this triangle. So V into I is the apparent power. Whatever you find here, V into I is the apparent power. VR into I is real power, and VL into I gives me the reactive power. And hence, from the power triangle, this is known as the power triangle. And here again, you find the same angle phi, and hence phi is also known as the power angle. And from this power triangle, I could write S is equal to P plus J Q. Cos phi is equal to P divided by VI, and on cross multiplying, it is written as P is equal to VI cos phi. And if you want to know the value of sin phi, you divide Q by VI. On cross multiplication, you'll get the expression for Q, and that is Q is equal to VI sin phi. Let me summarize. For inductive circuit, we call this as an inductive circuit. So for an inductive circuit, current lags voltage by an angle phi, and this inductive circuit is said to absorb a reactive power Q, which is Vm sin phi. And the power factor of this circuit is cos phi, where phi is going to range between 0 and 90 degree, and hence the power factor, that is cos phi, power factor of this circuit will range between 0 and 1. So this is going to be the range of the power factor for an inductive circuit. Thank you.